So, Anya, what is this cave about that USCIS has our cases stuck in? What's going on?
Yes, you would not believe that this would happen in the 21st century in the United States of America, like which is one of the most advanced countries, technologically advanced countries in the world. But this is what happened. So apparently, USAS has like certain locations where they store their files, right? And a lot of these files, they're stored still on paper. They don't transfer them into electronic format, okay? And one of these places, I don't know, they rent from like National Archives and Records Administration or something like that. So a lot of A files, which is your complete immigration file with all like your history, they stored them near Kansas City, Missouri. And because of COVID, it's like underground, like John said, like cave, but it's like I don't know how it looks like, but it's underground, right? And because of COVID, they restrict the numbers of employees, they restrict the entry, and like people cannot get the files from there. And a lot of people who filed, for example, for naturalization, and they report that those who filed for naturalization somewhere between March 2020 and June 2020, they may be affected by this problem. But it's not just citizen applications. For example, if you do FOIA request, which is Freedom of Information Act request, if you ask the government, the USCIS specifically, to provide a copy of your file, if you want to like do further submissions and you want to make sure that everything, everything looks good. Problem with FOIA requests. Problem with other applications that require a file, because again, John will talk about this in more detail in a couple of seconds, but not all applications require for adjudicator to have an A file on hand.
Yeah, so when USCIS wants to make decisions, they usually want to have your entire file with them. But as you said, like a case like an I-751 removal of conditions we've seen, this is when someone has a 2-year green card and they got through marriage. 2 years later, they have to submit additional paperwork to show that their relationship was it wasn't a fake marriage situation. And so for those, they could adjudicate. And we've seen cases where they don't have the whole file, but they based upon what we sent them and say, okay, we'll still approve it. So you can get away with that at I-751 stage. But at citizenship, that's the final end of the immigration process. They can't make a decision unless they have the entire alien file or the A file. This is the number a non-resident has that tracks everything that they've done in one number. So you have it attached, and they need to have all that together before they make a decision on citizenship. So if you have one of those citizenship cases taking 2 years, I can't tell you for sure if this is the reason why our case is delayed so much, but for sure it's going to affect thousands and thousands of people, maybe tens of thousands of people filing for naturalization that have this delay. Maybe people for adjustment of status as well. So it never ends, the, the issues that pop up when you're dealing with
Yeah,
bureaucracy.
it never ends. We adjusted, like other people adjusted, to COVID working online. Again, I understand you cannot do it online because it's actual paper file that someone, right, has to go there and find it and take it and send it, right, to local office or like National Benefit Center and so on and so on, right? But they started to reopen, I don't know, like a month ago or something, I'm not sure. Yeah, but still, before the pandemic, they used to get like 65,000 A files per month. Now they're getting it less than 10,000.
Yeah. Ooh, what a
From
disaster.
this specific place, yeah, in Kansas City, yeah.
So, we get a lot of comments, we get a lot of emails of people, why is my case taking this long? This may be the reason that your case is taking this long. So just something to keep in mind. And it's out of our control. I mean, there's nothing you can do. This is just unfortunately with COVID and the stuff that's happening. This is just part of it. It's frustrating, but it is what it is. So thank you for sharing that information, Anya. Thank you for watching this educational program. To get the latest videos, click the subscribe button and the notification bell icon. Also, help us help the immigrant community by liking this video and sharing it with your family and friends. You can also find us on other social media sites like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Twitter, where you find the latest updates on immigration news, policy changes, and tips. Be safe and God bless. See you soon.